What is up, fellas? Hopefully all is well. We got ourselves I guess week 1 matchup for Texas A&M, but hey, Pete Carroll in this universe was not able to escape his wrongdoings. Number 6 in the country. It doesn't matter if they were number 69th in the country, fellas. They're on a 2-year probation, not able to do jack shit. Heisman watch now going straight to it. Tim Tebow atop the list. We got Mike Goodson right after him, followed by, of course, Chris Beanie Wells and Colt McCoy. We'll see who the bottom one is for the start of the season. It's Pat White with West Virginia University. Again, one of the best players, pretty much easily the best playmaker on special teams last season. A guy with 12 total touchdowns just on the ground and receiving, not even counting, what was it? 7. There it is, 7 punt returns for a touchdown. Not even a kick return for a touchdown by Mike Goodson. Still able to have 19 total touchdowns last year. And that was a guy who was behind Jaworski Lane on the depth chart when utilizing this offense, this rushing attack. But there it is, Colt McCoy, Chris Beanie Wells, who easily at this point is the most talented running back in college football. Pat White, quarterback number 5 for West Virginia, 8 rushing touchdowns and 800-something yards last year. Going to look at the conference outlook right here. Texas, number 4 in the country, right before number 5 in the country. Texas A&M have increased the program standards up to 6 stars. I don't know why it would have 6 stars for the program. Whatever, maybe it's the same reason they have 6A high schools. Fucking beats me. But the Big 12 right there. Missouri kind of looks like a team right that just predicted to finish 3rd to last, but I'm just not buying it. Looking at the recruits now, we're starting to step in to definitely a decent amount of competition across the country for recruiting. Start to try to stab some guys outside of Texas and Louisiana. But overall, though, when looking at it, I'm still trying to utilize. I mean, there's so many recruits that come from Texas anyways. Top recruits in the country. I mean, Texas football pretty much rules them all. I know California has the highest population of people. It does not really matter when it comes to the quality of top football talent in the country. Louisiana having a decent amount of good players as well. Going to have to combat with LSU. Not Louisiana Tech on that one. But a decent amount of guys who are going to want to go from Louisiana. And if they're not going to go to LSU, they're most likely looking at Texas, Oklahoma, and now apparently us at Texas A&M. But decent amount of guys bolstered up on this defense, a very young defense for us. But we are going to need to look at some really solid linebackers. Always nice to get offensive linemen. You just never know who you're going to end up finding that could be an instant starter. But number 12 in the country, Iowa at home against Texas A&M. 2 teams with very impressive finishes to last year. Except for, the fact that Iowa apparently lost their bowl game. But who cares? Iowa's technically ranked or rated about the same overall. The better offense, which makes sense. They still have 2 of those solid wide receivers, number 80 and number 88. But D-tackle number 47 returned. D-tackle 53. Remember with B.J. Simmons and company, that front 7 is just fucking nasty. But here we are. We're in Iowa City, one of the most underrated party schools. And I can tell you what, are they either going to be dealing with a hangover or continuing their celebratory drunk from the previous night as Texas A&M heads in to Iowa City, Iowa, to take on the Hawkeyes. Gerard Johnson at quarterback, Brad Lessler, Lee Corso, and Kirk Herbstreit on the mic, but not really today, as it is me taking y'all through this game. Iowa University, number 12 in the country at home right here. Pretty much looking at it, you're looking at a better offense on the Iowa side, better offensive line for sure, but when you want to talk about playmaking, I think the best player on the offensive side of the ball on both teams is Mike Goodson. At running back, I will say, though, that the better player, best player, it's most likely D-tackle number 47, 99 overall. The guy's a team captain. Makes perfect sense. He should be an impact player, and there's a good chance he's going to make an impact on this game as he's 99 overall. And not only that, he's got decent speed as well as strength. But to start off the game, who else than the man that was so solid for Iowa in returning the football in general, the all-purpose yards that we're currently seeing with B.J. Simmons in his third season with Iowa. But quarterback number 6, they are so low, I guess. Maybe redshirted a young tight end to go as well with that star tight end. But a left tackle at tight end, that kind of decision-making is also going to lead to an interception by free safety number 26. He was a part of this crew from last season. Probably overall the best, at least playmaking-wise, secondary in the country. Free safety number 26. And speaking of big plays right there, start off the game, big players, big play, and that is D-tackle 47. But Mike Goodson, 2 straight plays showcasing 2 of the best players in this game on either side of the ball for either team. It's Mike Goodson going to be taking it to the house. Texas A&M seems to be about business as usual. Gerard Johnson, beautiful awareness on the outside, especially a guy who's going to be a junior at this point. I believe maybe a sophomore. I don't know. But here we go. Wide receiver number 88. He showcased the speed and the vision, and it's going to lead to a touchdown. However, we're going to need to see which way the Zebras threw this flag on, as it's going to make a big deal on what's going on, and technically you can't really get defensive holding on a return, so it's going to be taken back for this Iowa team. But nice catch right there by wide receiver number 88. 2nd and inches now. Beautiful tackle by middle linebacker 36. Just like we saw with moving left outside linebacker to middle linebacker last time around, he's moved to outside linebacker. And speaking of moving, beautiful catch by wide receiver number 89. Terrible angle by strong safety number 31. This is a first-year starter, and as you can tell, it's that lack of awareness. It is 7 all already. Will there be fireworks in this game? We'll just have to see. But a bad juke by Mike Goodson. Gets the reception, but honestly could have ran the ball with more efficiency on that play. Instead, it's going to be 2nd and 16. Nice 13-yard completion. 3rd and 3 as A&M looks to move the ball down the field. And Gerard Johnson's got it. And he's going to get a first down for Texas A&M. We talked about the athleticism, not only for these 2 running backs, but Javorsky Lane being the change of pace power back. Mike Goodson, one of the best all-around players, all-around running backs in the country. But you have a quarterback with 88 speed, possibly 89 at this point. But pretty much once you get in the mid-80s, you're going to have a quarterback who can possibly take it to the house, given the correct blocking. And speaking of incorrect blocking on that one, a wide receiver reverse start on that play action, and left end number 84, who's making an impact on the other side of the ball, of Michael Bennett. Beautifully done. 1 sack so far on the day, making his 1 tackle. And speaking of plays to be made, not only that, talking about a big play right here by D-tackle number 66. D-tackle 47 was also on the tackle. But Gerard Johnson will be out the rest of the game. More yards, a lot of it pretty much on that 1 pass by Iowa. But in comes Ryan Tannehill, and a turnover on 4th down. But Michael Bennett gets the sack right here later on. Iowa just not really able to move the ball besides that huge touchdown pass by quarterback number 6. It's cool to see the lefty, but it's even cooler to see him get sacked right there by right end number 11, Michael Bennett. Ryan Tannehill going to pass it out. Bad pass right there. It's kind of a slow, shaky start for a guy heading into one of the more difficult places in the country to play against a pretty solid Iowa team. Still 7 all. And we're now pretty much a quarter past the scoring. It's been kind of a drought at this point in the first half, but a nice, just beautiful play right there. This, like I said, the speed, 5 tackles already on the day. We're almost just pretty much a quarter into this one, and the man has 5 tackles as D-tackle. He's going to be, most likely he's going to be a first-round pick next year. The dude is just a stud. Ryan Tannehill, nice pass. It's just going to thread the needle. Wide receiver number 82, slot wide receiver. We saw a decent amount of targets going to them, especially efficient yards. But speaking of efficiency, a man that had about 19 catches last season. Martellus Bennett, almost 400 yards, too. A man that's just huge target down the field, highly athletic for a guy his size, and it just makes him a better target. But what a move later on in the drive by Mike Goodson. Make that the second touchdown by Mike Goodson. What a move to finally push this man. It's illegal to have two number 3s on the field at the same time, but fuck it. Martellus Bennett and the boys getting down the field. I think Martellus Bennett was technically number 7, if I'm correct, with Mike Goodson on the field as well. But it's going to be another touchdown for Texas A&M. 3 of 5 is Ryan Tannehill, but more yards thrown by this quarterback on Iowa. Nice end around right there by the wide receiver. And then Texas A&M on third down, able to get the stop. 3rd and 9 now for the Aggies. Pass out to Mike Goodson. What's going to happen now? And what a move by the All-American running back. And he's going to find himself all the way to the end zone. Huge play. Talking about a guy that last season, coming into this, easily an All-American for the best returner in the country. He's going to be the best returner most likely this season. And now he has 3 touchdowns in the game, 2 rushing, 1 receiving. And then the woes continue for the left tackle right there, as he's coming in as backup for the tight end. He's just playing absolute dog shit. Terrible, terrible depth chart. But there is your star tight end. The nice halfback pass earlier. That will not be the only bit of halfback passes in this game. And another drop pass by left tackle number 60. Do you really blame the man at this point? Really? But a freshman, Mr. White, on the side, getting things done. Texas A&M continuing their dominance on the special teams with their defensive unit here. Getting another block. They are easily the number 1 team in the country in this last year. But here we go, Mike Goodson on the outside. It's going to be opening up a playmaker on this one. Beautiful run. And it's going to be about, 15 yards? 7 attempts. 113 yards. Bulk of it coming on just 2 plays. But Ryan Tannehill, even though they're up by 14 points on the road, just like a headless chicken, it's going to be right in number 98. Going to take him out on that one. Huge highlight play. But Ryan Tannehill looking for more and more down the field. Another huge hit. And it's going to be a turnover after the punt. And then here we go. Halfback pass. Quarterback number 6. Beautiful play. It's so fun to watch this. We don't really get to see this all too often in any video games or whatnot. And Iowa decides to do it twice, and they really get us the second time around to quarterback number 6, showing a decent amount of athleticism himself compared to Gerard Johnson on the opposite side of the field, even though Gerard Johnson's out for the game. But a big play right here by tight end number 81. Getting down the field, setting them up with field goal position. D tackle number 91. That is definitely a position since 85 left last season, Mr. Bryant, to where they're lacking in just pretty much veteran savviness and talent for the most part. And there you go. 10-21. Momentum starting to ride a little bit on Iowa's side. Sack right there on the play by right end number 98. Make that 2 on the day, just halfway through it basically. We already know D tackle 47 is getting things done, but wide receiver number 82 again. The post routes up the middle. It seems like the cover and the zones are just not working all too well, but a nice little curl route by wide receiver number 9. 7 of 11, 152 yards. Touchdown pass today, that one to Mike Goodson. Very solid. I know at times he's looked a little shaky, a little young on this field, but Ryan Tannehill, just like in real life, replacing Gerard Johnson, except it will only be 1 week instead of a coach's decision, but he's getting things done on the road. And then right here, nice little audible to set this man up down the field. Wide receiver number 82. Touchdown right there. He's pretty much the number 1 wide receiver of the day, I think, for both teams. He's made 2 solid catches before this, but none will compare to this one right here. Beautiful touchdown play. Beautiful audible for a young quarterback. And Texas A&M is going to go up 28-10. A team that not as impressive as the one from last year that went undefeated talent-wise. We'll have to see. Great coaching on this side. 9 of 13 for Ryan Tannehill. 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's going to be Iowa ball right here. And then an interception. We talked about how he screwed up earlier. Strong safety number 31. We saw how free safety number 26. He's the returning starter out of these 2 at the safety positions. And it turns out the man ends up patting himself on the back, making up for the earlier hazard. But speaking of hazard, it's going to be another sack right here. It's going to be, I think, a safety blitz. Number 36 runs down the scrambling Tannehill. And it's going to lead to no points on that drive. And here we go. Cornerback number 18. It basically passes like this down the field. We're not very well converted against this A&M team at secondary last season. But we're starting to see, of course, the lack of talent, as you see so many Thorpe Award finalists, 4 out of the 4 or 5 players in the secondary not returning at this point. A lot of young blood on this team, on the secondary, pretty much on this defense in general. But hey, A&M's up by 18, 2nd and 6 now for Iowa. It's going to be play action, and then huge play. Speaking of veteran, free safety number 26. I mean, a guy that wasn't in the Thorpe Award race. I know we had 3 cornerbacks, 43, 27, who returned. And then, of course, the Thorpe winner, number 4. And then strong safety number 9. But it's going to be free safety number 26. Getting things done to start off the season. And here we go. Ryan Tannehill throwing it down the field to Jew Crow recruit Mr. Smith. And unfortunately, we should have ran the no-huddle offense as what you should do every time. We're going to show a highlight pretty much, but more so to check if the man made the catch. It looks like it, though. Looks pretty clear that he got the beautiful, beautiful toe-dragging catch. The play stands. We got lucky on that one because sometimes, I mean, you're going to have to just utilize that no-huddle offense in order to not have to deal with the zebras on this one. But here we go. Big play to Jaworski Lane. Again, the top speed isn't amazing, but the man himself is able to have quite the burst at this point. But throwing it down the field to tight end number 3, Martellus Bennett. It's as if they knew that he was going to be known for dropping passes in his pro career, but roughing the passer. Iowa down by 18 at home, needing a stop. And then right here, the fans just going crazy. Ryan Tannehill, again, where is this man? I know he's had a good game for the most part, but seriously, though, a guy, he's trying to quiet down the crowd. Oh, that's only going to make it louder, bud. And especially after that incomplete pass to Mike Goodson, just trying to salvage a little bit of yardage, making it easier. But right here, Ryan Tannehill picks it up, still controlling the kicker. And it's not going to be a block kick, but it's the equivalent of it. It's going to stop it. Texas A&M, no points on that drive. Nice catch by tight end number 81. Pretty much identical teams. Just especially on the offensive end. Pretty solid quarterback. Definitely a running game as the strength. But you have 2 All-American tight ends going up against one another in this game. And Ryan Tannehill starting to see the youth show up. Huge hit on that one. But Ryan Tannehill is going to try his best to get rid of it. He does get rid of it. But dangerous. Dangerous, I might add. It's going to be Iowa ball again. However, a 2nd sack today by Michael Bennett. Just like right end number 98, who is one of the better ends in the country, defensive ends, especially in the Big Ten. But it is Michael Bennett right here for Texas A&M, who's definitely a great prospect. But right there, about to get his 3rd interception, and then cornerback number 18. Y'all let me know. Do you think technically the Unitarian way would be to let this man get his 3rd interception? Or it's good that the cornerback number 18, the young cornerback, ends up getting this interception to boost his morale as he gets older, as he becomes more of a veteran. But hey, another interception. It's a desperate team right here, Iowa, at this point. Texas A&M, I'm pretty sure they might have led the nation in creating turnovers. And in this game, it's just starting to pour as it rains for this Iowa team. And there you go. Start off the season, number 5 in the country. Texas A&M wins 28-10 against Iowa on the road. Hey, beautiful game to start things off. Definitely, as I just felt like we need to schedule a game like this in order to A&M, just in case, you get in some of those BCS races to have a good resume for strength of schedule. But as always, fellas, take it easy. A nice win against Iowa.